Through Temple Emanu-El's philanthropic fund, replenished every year by your generosity, we as a congregation are able to send resources to those in crisis here at home, as we are to those enduring the devastating fires in California. Is there anyone here with a home in LA or with family there? Well, we see you and we feel your anguish, and we're holding you in our prayers, and no doubt there are people tuning in online, perhaps even from those communities affected, and we're praying for you, for your well-being. While there are many worthy organizational grantees, should any of us wish to donate directly, I know the Jewish Federation of Los Angeles has opened up a relief fund easily accessible through their website, jewishla.org. And in the coming days, we as a congregation also hope to make our members aware of hands-on opportunities to help. And through our philanthropic fund, we as a congregation are able to aid those in crisis abroad, certainly in Israel. One of the organizations we have supported for years is Dror Yisrael, an association of more than 1,300 trained educators specializing in support for children and communities at risk, Jewish, but also Arab, Christian, Muslim, and Druze. The organization's vision is one of shared society. Since October 7th, Dror's work has expanded as the number at risk has grown dramatically. Their team has been hard at work in over 200 evacuee centers and temporary housing complexes, setting up and running schools and social service posts, providing support to older adults too. Those of us who visited Israel in the last year came to appreciate how the nation's survival through the tragedy of Hamas's attack and the ensuing war depended on the strength of Israel's spirit and the extraordinary nonprofits that had stepped into the breach the government could not fill. Dror is one of those very special organizations, and I'm honored to invite our guests to speak about their work these many challenging months in Israel's hardest hit communities, north and south, and about the organization's mission. Inbal is the executive director of Dror's educational centers, with 30 years of experience in developing and operating award-winning innovative schools and educational frameworks in Israel, especially for at-risk youth. She was recently instrumental in establishing the organization's preschools for the children of Kibbutz Be'eri. Mirit Sulema oversees Dror's international relations and engagement. She previously coordinated Dror's Urban Educators Kibbutz in Akko, where she initiated several educational projects, including the Akko Shared Society Center, which unites Jewish and Arab youth. So please welcome them. First, Mirit will speak, and then Inbal.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Wow, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much to Rabbi Davidson for inviting us to speak here, and thank you all for coming and for listening to what we have to tell. My name is Mirit Sulema. I'm 36 years old, and I'm an educator. That's what I do. That's what I've done for the past 15 years. I think education has the power to bridge between communities, between people, and join identities together and to strengthen them. For my entire professional life, I've been a part of Dror Israel in the mixed city of Akko, just like Rabbi Davidson has already said. Also lived in Akko for 15 years with my partner, and I have also a 2-year-old. Today with me Inbal, director of Dror Israel's educational centers network of schools and one of Dror Israel's founders. But just before Inbal will speak, and she has an amazing story, I will tell you a little bit about Dror Israel.
Shabbat Shalom. It's so nice to be here. A part of me is still on October Rain. I will tell you a little bit about it. But to introduce myself, I'm 48 years old. I'm one of the pioneers of Dror Israel, and I established many schools, kindergartens, and preschools in Israel.
So, Dror Israel, who are we? What do we do? Dror Israel sends trained educators to live and work on the social and geographical periphery of Israel. We have 16 educators, kibbutzim, or communities, and a total of 1,300 educators. It means that between 60 to 100 educators live in a group and devoting their lives to better the society around them, devoting their lives to make social change through the work of education and community building. Just like I am a part of the Akko Educators Kibbutz, we have these kibbutzim all over, from down south in Mitzpe Ramon to the Galilee in Kibbutz Ravid. Now, because we live in the communities that we serve, we understand the needs of the community. We're able to work and partner really with the communities and with the government also to meet the local needs and to make social change all over Israel. Many of our communities were hardest hit on October 7th, including our educators' kibbutz in Sderot and in Ashkelon, and the communities that we work with are in the kibbutzim near the Gaza border. Our educators work and operate three main operations. In terms of informal education, our affiliated youth movement is one of the largest youth movements in Israel, with 650 chapters, including Druze, Arabs, the secular, religious, all the kinds of teenagers and kids that live in Israel. And we provide resilience building programs, leadership building programs, social clubs, and programming in bomb shelters when needed. We have a network of award-winning schools, which Inbal leads, and I won't say a lot about because she will. But we have the schools and preschools for at-risk youth, that special dialogue-based learning, dialogue-based pedagogy. And since October 7th, we've established makeshift schools and daycare centers for evacuated children and those who live in the communities are under fire. And our educators' kibbutzim, each educator's kibbutz also chooses the needs of the local community and tackles hands-on work with 150 local initiatives all over Israel. And each one does the work that the environment needs. So it differentiates between the work that we do in Akko for shared society and with a city that has 25% new olim, new immigrants that come to Israel every year. So that's one set types of challenges. Or our educators' kibbutz in Mitzpe Ramon, a desert city that is very far in distance from other places. So that's different work and different challenges. Our vision is Israel that's based on the ground values of democracy, of Zionism, and of a shared inclusive society. And we do that through the work of education and community building. We see Israel where all Israelis share responsibility over their homeland, where everybody, an Arab citizen or a Druze citizen or a Jewish citizen, everybody are able and want to take responsibility over their society, over the people they live next to. And it doesn't matter if they live next to Jews or next to Arabs. We are empowering people of all ages to become leaders and be responsible for their homeland and for the place they were born and raised. In our DNA, we feel the need to be there for people who need us the most. This is why we played an essential role in emergencies in Israel, and I'll just say a few of them. Unfortunately, we have too many. Also, not just in Israel, but all over the world. In 1999 in Kosovo, we've established camps for children who were refugees. In 2006, the Second Lebanon War, we were able to open camps for 11,000 kids, taking them out of the war zone and giving them the peace of mind and a place to be at ease during the war. In 2014, on Protective Edge operation, we were able to work in almost every bomb shelters in the city of Sderot and Ashkelon. In 2020, in COVID-19, we established 18 daycares inside hospitals for the children of essential workers. And in 2022, in the Ukraine-Russia war, on the third day of the war, we were already on the ground in Poland, and we established day camps for the kids, the refugee kids, on the largest refugee camp in the city, in Warsaw. But October 7th was nothing we ever knew. The scale, the devastation, nothing like we ever knew. Like I told you before, because we are running programs in almost every city and village and kibbutz, we are so rooted in the communities, big or small, it just doesn't matter. It means that we didn't need special frameworks. We didn't need to do anything special to help and support the communities that were hit, because these are the communities that we work with every day anyway. We were already inside the communities. We sent our educators to over 80 hotels to start daycares and youth centers for the evacuated, traumatized kids and youth in the hotels. And we were there with people in the bomb shelters, whoever had to stay home. Our educators, for example, from the educators community in Sderot, were evacuated themselves with the people of Sderot, and they started building community councils in the hotels in order to provide the support they needed, but also in order to just run the everyday life in the hotel. Just like the kibbutzim have these different committees and they're already arranged, so they were able to really just take those structures they have every day into the hotels. In Sderot, it wasn't like that. So our educators were able to start these hotel committees and just do that work with the people of Sderot. Now I want you to pause for a second and think about a question. Why is education so important right now? And I want to invite Inbal to really help us answer that question.
Thank you. Well, for 30 years, I dedicate my professional life for education, for change the Israeli society through education, to deal with teenagers and youngsters at risk. But after October 7th, everything changed in my point of view. As I told you before, my October 7th story is very personal. It starts with my sister Libby, who lived in Kibbutz Be'eri and survived the attack. She and her two little kids, Dan and Gali, they were 3 and 6 over there, and they all survived. But many, many people from Kibbutz Be'eri did not survive. The next day, on October 8th, I came to see her and her children at the David Hotel in the Dead Sea. I immediately saw that they need for kindergartens for the children. 3 days later, we had a team from Dror, Israel, who quickly transformed the dining room of the hotel and created 7 kindergartens for 120 children. Elad, our friend, who ran the kindergarten, moved to the hotel and enrolled his own daughter there. Fast forward, he now moved with his family to live in the Be'eri's community in Hatzerim. But to give you the big picture, Dror Israel actually worked at 80 hotels, and we developed a lot of frameworks for many, many kids. For me, it's about creating quality education in the social and geographic periphery of Israel. We are now emphasize social projects-based learning. We believe that no child has to be left behind, and everything we do is based on our core values of democracy, Zionism, and empathy. We advance and strengthen everyone, Jews, Arabs, Bedouin, Druze, and Ethiopians, to ensure a just society in Israel. Our flagship activity today is to training educators from all over Israel for long-term commitment in our schools across the country. This summer, we had a seminar for 500 teachers and principals from all over the country. It was great success, and we even had a waiting list. The way I see it is that our vision and my personal goal over the next 5 years is to build a best, excellent education system for the students and for the educators. This means that it provides confidence and restoration of learning skills that have been damaged in past year plus, since October 7th. As you can imagine, after October 7th, everyone in Israel understood and wanted to be part of community. What we want to do is to create a real educators community and network. And I want to tell you a story that will show how it goes beyond education and it's essential for building resilience. One very moving story is about a group of teachers from the south who came from Nofei Absor school. This school suffered the most casualties on October 7th. 11 children and 30 alumni and teachers were murdered. These teachers already knew Dror Israel and me from the Dead Sea kindergartens. When they arrived to the seminar, they thought they were coming to discuss strategies for supporting their students. But what happened was even more powerful and very moving. The seminar turned into a safe space where they could process their own experience, share their pains, and find collective strength. Since then, this teacher reached out to me, asking that we will continue to accompany them on the journey. It was a powerful testament about the deep need of ongoing support, not only for the children, but also for those who guide and educate them.
Since October 7th and into the foreseeable future, we will be with these people. We were there before, we are here, and we will be there with them for whatever it takes and for how long it needs. We are still running 30 hotels, the hotels of Kiryat Shmona. We're just now in these days building with the municipality the plan to get back home with the people of Kiryat Shmona. We are teaching the youth of Kiryat Shmona, giving them the tools to be the leaders of their returning home, so they can be the leaders and the guiders of the children when they go back home. One of our programs, it's a baby program, is we understood the power of our educators, kibbutzim, and our educators' communities, and how strong they are and how needed they are. So we decided to build 2 new groups in the south, in the municipalities of Eshkol and Sha'ar HaNegev, those who were mostly hit and that are returning home, and 2 new groups in the north, in the Upper Galilee and in Kiryat Shmona. So 20 new educators in each of these new groups are going to strengthen and help in the rebuilding of these communities. We need more and more educators who will be trained in Inbal's program, hopefully in the summer, 500 more, but even before we have a seminar in Passover. And we will be there with new programs for whatever it takes. We received amazing support from the Jewish community in the States, and we are so thankful for that. We've also received amazing support from this synagogue, and we're also very thankful for that, so thank you very much. And thank you for having us today. We would love to stay in touch with whoever wants to, and you can take brochures on your way out, and you can also go to our website, drorisrael.org, so you can learn more, and I'm happy to be in touch with whoever wants. Thank you so much for having us today. Thank you so much for being here. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Mirit. Thank you, Inbal. As we have been privileged to support Dror's work in the past, we look forward to continuing to support it going forward.